Now for what's trending in true crime, a Texas couple finds themselves in the headlines this morning after the death of their 12-year-old daughter, whose life-threatening injuries were treated with smoothies. Police say Miranda Sipps, a junior high cheerleader, was pronounced dead hours after first responders arrived to find her unconscious. Investigators believe that Sipps suffered severe injuries, including injuries to her neck, 4 days before she died. Her mother and her stepfather, according to police, failed to seek medical attention in a timely fashion and instead tried to treat their 12-year-old daughter with vitamin-packed smoothies while the girl was still alive but non-responsive.
I will not, at this point in time, go into the injuries, detail on the injuries or how they happen, because I'm not 100% sure. And I don't want to sit up here and tell y'all these injuries happened this way, and I find out that they happened a different way. So we're going to get to the bottom of it before we address how the injuries occurred. But as to how the injuries occurred exactly, you know, we still have a little bit of doubt. We need to figure that out before I'm standing up here and say, yes, it happened this way. We know what she told us.
Okay, and by saying she, the sheriff is referring to Sipps's mother and what she told police. So let's talk about your reaction to this case. What do you think about it? I want to welcome in my power panel now. Still with me, retired criminal defense attorney Kirk Nurmi. Want to welcome in law enforcement expert Sonny Slaughter and psychology expert Dr. Sue Kornbluth. Good morning to you all. This is a stunning case, to say the least. And there's so many unanswered questions, right? How she was injured, what these injuries were in particular, but just hearing her neck, that she has a neck injury and she's given smoothies. Sonny Slaughter, would you start us off? Your thoughts, please.
Good morning, Julie, and my entire amazing panel. I'm glad to be back. This case is very disturbing, as you said. It is painful to think that parents would not immediately go and take care of a child that even seemed injured and in pain and distress. But I agree with the law enforcement expert, because as law enforcement professionals, they should not ever go out and make assumptions without facts. So evidence and facts matter. Having a delay about what caused the injuries is really important, so we don't speculate, because you can't come back later and try to clean it up. So I think it's really critical for them to do the work that they need to make a determination as to what exactly happened with this particular child. And this case is just inflaming, no matter what happened, that parents didn't respond.
It sure is. You're so right, Sonny. You're so right. I agree with all of that. Thank you for that. I've got a clip. This is going to inflame all of you more. And Dr. Sue, especially you, you're a parenting expert. I'm going to come to you on the other side of this one. This is the sheriff talking about mom. Take a listen to what he says mom's reaction was to all of this.
Did they show any kind of remorse so far?
A little bit, maybe.
Mom, not really.
Not like a regular parent or mother?
No, not like you or I or any of us probably would. The mother, as my investigator said, not really at all. The stepdad did exhibit some remorse.
Not really at all. Dr. Sue, your thoughts? What's going on here, please?
I mean, is this very surprising to me that she didn't have remorse? Absolutely not. Look, I think in these kinds of cases where we're dealing with a history of welfare checks, let's remember this, that she is probably trying to cover up her own behaviors here. Again, we don't know what happened, but I'm suspicious about the mother, and that the mother did cause these injuries to the daughter. Now, when somebody doesn't have remorse, Julie, and you know what we think first, right, is she's a sociopath, because that's the symptom that goes along without having any remorse. But as a mother myself, and my child was injured, I would be crying. I would show signs of fear and anxiety and compassion, and not having any remorse, right? does kind of point the finger that something suspicious is really going on here.
Definitely. Dr. Sue, thank you for all of that. Kirk Nurmi, your reaction when you heard about this case, you heard about the allegations with the parents and the age of this child. What did you think, please?
Yeah, it's shockingly disturbing, right? And you pose the question, what were they thinking? And of course they weren't, right? So what it leads me to speculate is two different things. We talked about addiction as it related to Matthew Perry last segment. I'm wondering if there's some addiction issues. These are the kind that maybe don't make the headlines. Maybe they got away with for years, because that kind of thinking would maybe perhaps be the thinking of an addict. The other supposition, of course, is what has been raised, is the specter of these other injuries. Were they actually trying to cover up their child abuse in a way that it wouldn't be detected with these vitamin smoothies, I guess? So those are some, and of course it could be a combination thereof. But I think that's probably ultimately what we're going to see is dealing with here, that as we peel this onion back, we're going to see that unfortunately this child was probably a victim of abuse at the hands of drug-addicted parents.
That's a really great thought, Kirk, that this might have been what's behind that. As we know, so much is being kept under wraps as this investigation unfolds. But I think I appreciate you saying what I think a lot of us were thinking. You know, you have to wonder. You have to wonder how someone's judgment could be so impaired, so as not to get this child medical attention. And we don't know, again, the particular injuries. You heard the sheriff in that clip, but we played moments ago saying they're holding that back. So we don't know exactly what led up to her death, but Sheriff David Soward, like many of us, wonder why the parents waited to seek help.
Just for the sake of argument, throw out how the injuries occurred. Throw that out the window. You still have a duty as a parent to provide medical care for a 12-year-old child. And that's what we're talking about right here. Sure. We're not talking about them assaulting the child, trying to kill the child, or anything like that. We're talking about them failing to act and get that 12-year-old girl medical attention like she should have gotten.
Okay, now, according to police, Miranda Sipps experienced a trauma to her neck, but was only able to flutter her eyes and move her hands before eventually dying from her injuries. The child's mother released on $200,000 bond. On Thursday, that's when she bonded out. Stepdad still in custody. Both are facing a top count of causing serious injury to a child. That's a first-degree felony. Okay, so it seems like what the sheriff was clarifying there seems like he wasn't blaming them for the injury itself, just the lack of care after the fact and what they did after the fact that may have exacerbated this or failed to help remedy whatever was going on here. So our question, could those failures point to more guilt here? Is there more to this story? Let's bring back in our power panel. Sunny Slaughter, I want to go back to you, please. Your thoughts on what we may see come here?
I think, based on the way the sheriff was talking and even his response, he seemed very disturbed that the parents did not do what they should have done, and that is seek immediate medical attention. I think that we're going to see severe allegations and that this could lead to more guilt and charges with these particular parents.
Mm-hmm. Right, Sunny. Dr. Sue, to you next, please. Your thoughts.
I think, the sheriff said it right in one of his press conferences when he said that the basic job of a parent, right, Julie, is to protect their child from harm. And they did not do that in this situation, no matter how those injuries came. They did not seek out medical help right away. Instead, they tried to treat this young, beautiful young girl with smoothies and vitamins. I mean, it just violates, to me, what a parent's job is to take their child to a hospital and get them evaluated. There are people that don't believe in traditional medicine, but something doesn't smell right to me here. And giving a smoothie with vitamins to help someone that's fluttering their eyes is definitely not the way to help a child and protect them.
No, certainly not, Dr. Sue. I keep thinking about, you hope this child wasn't in an enormous amount of pain, but who knows? I mean, with a neck injury, I can't imagine. I would just think it's probably safe to assume that she was in a tremendous amount of pain. Kirk Nurmi, would you take us home here, please? How do you see this case playing out, and what more may be forthcoming in the way of charges for these parents?
I think it's interesting, Julie, that the stepfather's in custody and the mother's not. And one of the things that I say that's interesting is because ultimately then they have leverage over him. Someone who is in custody is more likely to talk, more likely to cut a deal they want out. Maybe they'll get their bond reduced, maybe the charges, what have you. So it's a real possibility here, depending on what's going on, that maybe if they can get one of these parents to talk, they can get more information on exactly what was going on. Because some of these injuries, if she's a cheerleader, they might be difficult to discern how they were taken in. So getting one parent to talk could be a key in this case, Julie.
That's right. That's right. Excellent points you just made there, Kirk. Thank you for all of that. And I know we have to say goodbye to you, but thank you for your expertise, Kirk Nurmi. Always a pleasure. Dr. Sue and Sunny are going to stay with us. And it is Members Only Monday, in case you forgot, my friends. And I want to share with you what our armchair attorneys are saying about the smoothie on our exclusive YouTube page. Here we go. Erica says, quote, would they be thinking smoothies and vitamins or any sort of medical treatment if one of them were the one with injuries? They either weren't thinking at all, or they were thinking only of protecting their own behinds at the child's expense. Erica, I love what you are saying. Preach. And True Crime and Wine couple says, quote, if the reason is to cover up abuse, this is even more heinous. Oh boy.